Well, it's about 6:15 a.m. or so, and it's just been raining steadily since like 4 a.m. I woke up pretty well, like, I don't know, 5:30, and I've just kind of drifting around since then. And I don't know, I think the sun is starting to slowly come up through the clouds, so you can actually see stuff outside now. Yeah, I just wanted to share some stories. So basically the first one is back from 2011. There was a hiker that came in here, and after a couple of days, he was declared missing, and a search party went out, and they never found him, still to this day. That's the first story. Second story is, unfortunately, I'm not over by this side right now. That would be over by the eastern side. I'm on the western side, but over on the eastern side, there is a plane crash that you can go and explore, which is pretty cool. But also it's pretty sombering because, there was the pilot called Mayday, and by the time that the search rescue found the plane, the pilot was missing, and they tried to find the body, and they searched around the area, and they ended up concluding that wildlife probably ended up taking the body, and he was never recovered, just like the other hiker. Looks like the path is gonna have us cross it. So, oh yeah, that's the other thing about these wilderness areas, is that it explicitly said that there are no bridges. All streams are forded. So that's pretty fun. Well, my feet are now wet. I couldn't quite make it across this one without sticking a foot in the water. So there was a fork, and I had to actually look at the GPS because the paper map didn't really show the fork very well, and GPS didn't even show where the other side of the fork went, but I know this side is the side I want to be on. So it's getting pretty windy up here. Well, actually, I say that, and all of a sudden the wind has died down. But I don't know why I'm stopping. I just got lost again on the trail. Had to stick my phone down. It's like every 5 minutes I keep on getting off and keep on having to look at the maps, which is pretty bad. Trail is not super obvious, and I feel like I have a decent eye for picking the trail out. See what I mean? I'm on the trail. I know I'm on the trail here, and then it just disappears, dude. It literally just, like, dang it, bro. I'm to the point where I'm gonna use my phone and just walk in a straight line along this ridge and just stay near the trail according to my phone, because staying on the trail is taking more time than just cutting my own path at this point. So let me get back. This is the trail. I can literally see the trail through here. Oh, this is the trail. Go backwards a little bit, see if there were any cutoffs that I missed. No, it most certainly is going straight through here. Without a doubt. And then I hit this and it just like, boop, gone. just push through here. See if it appears on the other side. Maybe it will become more obvious over here. Yeah, this might be it. Hard to say. Oh yeah. I can see the rut. We're good. We're golden. Back on the trail. That was I never really got off the trail. I just couldn't see the trail continue. So, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the trail. I'm just kind of like, you can obviously see through here. Got slapped in my face. You can obviously see through here. Like, obviously this center bit is a trail. But that's just because you could see that rut. If you couldn't see that rut, which is usually when I start getting confused, yeah, that's when things get less great. The nice thing is, it stopped raining, and so I wouldn't say I'm drying off, but I'm not getting more wet. I'm just basking in my wetness. So it stopped raining, which is really nice. I might have the chance to dry out just a little bit. I mean, everything is still pretty soaked, and it's like, this is not dry, sunny weather. But yeah, I mean, my shoulders are soaked, my back is soaked, my waist is soaked. My my underwear is soaked. My legs are just starting to dry out. They were pretty wet before, but they're starting to dry out because I'm actually wearing shorts underneath of my rain stuff. And so it's not holding on to the wet as long. So basically what I'm doing through here, I've come up with this method to staying on the trail. I know the general direction that the trail goes. I know it stays along this ridge. We're on the north-south trail right now. We'll follow this ridge along. And so what I've been doing is if I get off, I just start zigzagging in the general direction I know that it goes. And yeah, eventually I see something that looks like a trail. I'm like, oh, that's it. And I continue. I get off a couple minutes later. I start zigzagging. I'm like, that looks like a trail. And I continue. And I mean, there's not that much that can go wrong here. Like, I know it follows the top of the ridge. Really, as long as I'm following the top of the ridge, there's not that much trouble that I can get into here. I just have to make sure that I get the turn off for the next trail right, and I can just use my GPS to check and see when I'm coming up to that. And we're off again. Okay, that's pretty dense. I feel like this is the trail, but man, is that dense. Let me show you what I'm looking at. I think this is the trail. I'm just gonna push through that. And yep, that definitely does appear to be the trail. It's just, minorly covered over by stuff. I just wanted to show this part because I thought it was really pretty. Look at that. There's the trail. It's pretty obvious where it is now. There's like some new growth trees, but it's mostly just tons and tons of moss. It's like, I don't know. Look at that. There's nothing growing in there except for just a whole mountaintop of moss. And I think these are like red spruce or something that they were saying that the flying squirrels live in. It'd be pretty fun to see some of those. But if I were a squirrel, I would be hanging out in my nest, staying dry and warm. Just got on to Laurel Fork. Look at all the snow over there. Just got on to Laurel Fork, and I gotta say, this trail is, well, I have no clue if it's gonna stay this way, but so far, for the first couple 100 feet of it, has been way easier to go along than the north-south trail. It's just one of the many pretty stream crossings we get. Guys, I'm supposed to cross this in a little bit, and I don't think I could cross that. So I'm supposed to cross right over there. Okay, well, I'm feeling a little bit cold. I sat down and had lunch, and I really chilled off. And now I'm about to walk in this, which I assume is probably slightly warmer than the water I was going through yesterday, because that was snow melt off, and this is rain from last night, or this morning, which would have been in the 40s and low 50s, which sounds a lot warmer than snow melt off. But man, it's kind of sketchy too, man. I could see like pretty clear rocks until like halfway through. And I don't know what I'm gonna do if I get out there and I can't really tell. Like, am I gonna just feel around for stuff or call it and head back? But oh man, ooh, oh, I'm cold just thinking about it. All right. Pep talk is over. Oh, it's chilly, all right. It's chilly. And I can't see where I'm going. I'm just, whoo. That's cold. All right, I'm looking at that. That is deeper than I could go through, so I'm heading back. All right, well, that was that was about as cold as I expected it to be, which was, tolerable but very chilly. My feet are still a little numb. They're warming up. But I got to about knee deep, and I was only about a third of the way through, and it was only getting considerably deeper, and I was not about to go waist deep in that water. And I was knee deep. I was having an okay time getting a footing, but just, I don't know, I think waist deep I would have been struggling pretty hard to get my footing well, because that water is moving pretty well with the inch or so, inch plus, somewhere around there, of rain that came in last night. And like I said earlier, I would have to recross down south like 4 or 5 miles from here, which would give it like 4 or 5 miles to strengthen, and then I'll be recrossing likely after it snowed and rained some more tomorrow night. So all of that was kind of sketchy, and then I got like halfway across and it was already up to my knees, and I could tell it was going to be probably close to up to my waist. The weather has changed a little bit. It's hailing or something now. Well, I was starting to get a little bit concerned there. I'm actually completely off the trail now, and I have absolutely no idea where the trail is. That's fine, because I know we're going downhill. As long as I head downhill, I'm gonna make it to the to that like gravel road trail that I took in. But yeah, my phone was almost out of battery, and it kept on refusing to charge because it was wet, and it just started charging right now, which is great, because I was about to run out of battery, which would make it a lot harder to find the trail, which, like I said, again, I don't need to find the trail, but this stuff is pretty dense in here to be walking through without finding the trail, so I'm gonna hope I can get back on. So, well, this has been pretty interesting. For the past like 20 minutes I've been zigzagging back and forth, slowly moving forward to try and find the trail. Well, according to Apple Maps, I've been going on one side of the trail to the other side of the trail and back to the other side of the trail without ever finding it. which is mildly aggravating. So, once again, I decided to screw it, and I'm just kind of following the way that I know that the trail should go. Wait, is this the trail? I keep on finding stuff that kind of looks like it could be the trail. Oh, big deer. And then it gets me in trouble. So like it'll just lead me into a dead end or something. Or it'll start doing shit like that. Like, nah. This is not a trail. There's nothing. There's just nothing. Check out this little waterfall I just passed. And it goes down. So I took a video at the shelter yesterday. Basically where I came down off the mountain was right next to that shelter number 2, or Pheasant Hollow Shelter. And yeah, yesterday I showed just a little bit of the river. That's what it looks like now. And yeah, that's the reason why I wasn't able to cross the river that I thought I was going to be able to today, because it had like just, I don't know, easily twice the height of water flowing through it. You can figure out what that means with volume. Well, before I went to sleep, I just wanted to show the new tarp setup. Basically, same as the other one, except it goes out in like a square instead of in points. And then if you see all the way down at the end, their doors really just, I mean, they don't go anywhere close to all the way down to the ground. They're really just flaps that come down, and that and they actually completely enclose underneath of that little slit, depending on how hard I pull them. So there's just a tiny little slit there that snow could, you know, theoretically come in towards. But yeah, there's no way that this is, I mean, this is like, I would stick this through all sorts of weather. So we're gonna find out tomorrow, because right now it's raining. Earlier today we had hail. We'll see if we get, I doubt we'll get any hail tonight, but tomorrow morning we're potentially gonna get some snow, depending on how early I get out of here. So maybe we'll see how it performs under some snow too, which is, you know, part of what the doors are supposed to do, is keep stuff from flying in sideways. It'll be kind of interesting to see. Well, sure enough, it's like sleeting and snowing and stuff. I knocked off most of the stuff on here, but it's like this kind of crusty. It weighed it down pretty well last night. Yeah. I don't know. I slept great though. I hardly even, I mean, I kind of knew that some stuff was coming down outside, but I must have slept for like 11 hours. And then eventually I was like, oh, I gotta get up. And then I was just sitting there just trying to convince myself that it was a good idea to get up, because it's cold out. It was warm in the sleeping bag. This, folks, is why we do it though. Look at this view. The river, the snow coming down. Oh yeah. It's just so pretty. I think it's about time for breakfast with the view. My line appears to have frozen with my bag on it, because I loosened it and the bag's not coming down. So I think we're just gonna give it a little. Okay, that's not breaking it free. What to do? Ouch. I figured I'd pull on it and that would be enough to break it free, but I guess not. Interesting. Well, it took me like 10 minutes of pulling at it, but I broke it free. I was starting to wonder if I wasn't going to have breakfast. Well, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. I didn't think I was going to get any more snow for the rest of this year. It looked like it's going to be warm the rest of March, and this is really the only cold day we have. So this is kind of nice. It's really pretty out.